What up, YouTubers? This is Faith. This video is the top 10 things, kind of top 10 must-have things for baby for that first year. These were things for me, and I hope that they prove helpful for you. These are the top 10 things that I found that I couldn't live without, especially that first 6 months and 12 months, of course. So it's the top 10 things that I couldn't live without. I know a lot of moms, they do a lot of YouTube research, and I found a lot of helpful videos. So I'm hoping that a new mom does find this video helpful to themselves. So there's the top 10. The first five are going to be for months 1 through 6, and the last five are going to be months 6 through 12. Multi-pack of bibs. Gerber has great, like five, I think it's a 5-pack of bibs, plain white bibs. Not only are they neutral, but you go through a lot of changes, especially in that first 6 months per day. Again, aside from the gender neutral, it can match with anything, and eventually it can go turn into like undershirts for outfits for the baby. So I definitely recommend a multi-pack of plain white bibs, onesies, so you don't have to get the fancy ones. Carter's has a good multi-pack. They have long sleeve ones, the wife beater looking ones, and just a plain like this. So I definitely would recommend a multi-pack of plain white bibs, not bibs, onesies. And also you can jazz them up any way you want. You can use fabric paint, fabric markers, and make or sew things on it. So you can make them cute if you want to. But you can't live without a multi-pack of just plain white onesies. That's number one. Number two of the top five for that first 6 months are just plain white bibs. Because again, you go through a lot of bibs, babies. So when they start teething, you're going to go through a lot of bibs because they drool all over the place. And they're almost going to have a bib on almost, for a better part of the day because they drool so much. What's great about these, they can get as dirty as you want when you multiple wash them. And the fancy ones are a little bit cheaper. This was a multi-pack. He just used this one. That's why it's kind of cruddy. But these, you don't have to worry about them so much if they get lost. You can also jazz these up the same way you would do like the plain white onesies, but I would definitely recommend on your top 10 things, this is a multi-pack of plain burp cloths. This has a little bit of blue trim. They even have ones with pink. I got them on Amazon. Again, they were just plain white bibs. So number one was the onesies, number two are the bibs, and then I couldn't live without my diaper changer. This is a portable one. Of course, you can use this in the house, which is great. It has multiple sections. This part zips off. This is one made by Skep Hop, which I absolutely love. You can keep the diapers in it. It does have a zipper compartment that can hold, that has a container that you can put wipes in. So this is great for on the go. It has little straps that you can hang it off the edge of a stroller, or you can just kind of snap it as a loop and you can hold it as like a little arm bag. Then also it has this Velcro part, and this is the part that's easy to wipe down that you can change the baby. This is great if you want to change the baby on the bed, on the floor, so in the house or even outside. So especially if you go to those diaper changing stations, you can use this without having to worry about the baby getting anything from those diaper changing stations. So that's number three. Number four is an infant toddler tub, which I don't have a picture of. I like the infant toddler tubs because there's a sling that goes for the newborn, then there's an infant side and a toddler side, so you can use the tub for a longer period of time. And what's also great about it is that it's a small confined area with a very little water, so you don't have to worry about the baby drowning, and you can control the baby instead of a big tub or a big sink. And it's great because it goes through multiple stages of the baby. That was number four. Number five for the first 6 months was a playpen, which I don't have a picture of here, but I found that the Eddie Bauer or any other companies like Graco and stuff, they have a playpen you can put the baby in. You can buy a mattress for the bottom so it can double as a bed, especially if you go to multiple houses or the baby stays in more than one location, or if you want to have the baby close to you instead of in the crib. So it's safe, and then also when the baby starts to be able to stand and stuff, you don't have to worry about them kind of crawling around and getting into trouble. So it's kind of like a nice confined area. I definitely like the ones that have multiple stations. So you can get a playpen that has a bassinet, so it's like half the size. It makes the playpen half the size, so you can put a newborn in it. It has like a little canopy. It even has music and a little vibrating station thing, or music, sounds of water, birds, stuff like that. Or and it also has a diaper changing station. So I like that because it's multiple use, especially if you don't have a lot of space for a crib or a mini crib. You can use that as their bed when you put the mattress in it. the bassinet part, the changing station, and the bassinet part. So it's really good. So I definitely recommend that because you can also put the baby in there and then take a quick bath. You can kind of, half of it has wheels, so it's great to keep the baby safe and hands free if you need to do something. And that's the top five. So now the top 5 to 10. This is more for 6 months and up, and even like 4 months and up. I definitely recommend, which I don't have a picture here, is an extra saucer. It's like any kind of station that has like little things for them to play with, and it gets their legs stronger. It exercises their back. They learn to walk faster, that I found, and they also develop a little bit faster because there's a lot of things that they can do interactive. And again, it's a great place to put them and feel safe and be hands free if you need to do something for a minute or two, like wash dishes or bottles and stuff. So I definitely recommend an extra saucer or any kind of activity center that makes them stand in a little seat thing, and it doesn't move, so they can't walk around. It's not a walker, but extra saucer brand is really good. And then that was number 6, because the playpen was number 5. Number 7 is a baby bullet, especially this is when baby starts to eat more. I definitely like this turbo steamer. If you don't get the baby bullet, you can use your own blender. But I like the turbo steamer because it also defrosts food. So if you freeze the food, you can defrost it in there. It has a defrosting tray, like that little green tray there. My dry hands. Also, it's a sanitizer, so you can sanitize bottles, nipples, and all that stuff. And it also steams food. So even if you're making peas or whatever food you need to steam, you can use that steamer. It's very cheap. I can't live without that. Even if you don't get the baby bullet, the turbo steamer is really good because it sanitizes, it defrosts, and it also steams food. So it's kind of a multi thing, and it's very small, very quick, and there's like it's great. And it has a little book that tells you what numbers to defrost things at. Number 8 is a play zone or any kind of cordoned off area with a rubber mat kind of down on the floor. So this way when the baby starts to cruise, it's safe, and especially when they start to learn how to walk and they kind of fall a lot. I like the play zone because I got that, which has multiple stations for him to play. It's like half the size of the living room. It has different extensions. So any kind of area that's like a gated area for the baby to explore and you can feel safe. Still have to be monitored, but at least you know that there's a soft surface that they can kind of fall on. And then number 9 was a high chair. I have a high chair, but I like this one because I can take it with me. What's great about this is when the baby gets bigger, when he becomes a toddler, you can take the tray off. You can use this seat as a booster, so he can sit at the table, and it straps to the table. You'll see the straps there. And it reclines in 3 different positions. So it's good for a newborn to toddler. So that's why I like this high chair. It's made by First Years. So you can't live without a high chair / booster because it goes in multiple stages. So that was, I don't think I have a number 10. That's pretty funny. Oh, and the pump. I forgot the pump. The pump was probably part of the top 5, actually. That was number 2. So I do have 10. If you do plan to breastfeed, you can still breastfeed and nurse. But if that backfires, you have a backup plan. You can still pump the milk and make sure that the baby's getting breast milk. And then also, if for any reason the baby rejects the breast or for some reason you find it difficult, you can still pump milk and be able to get it to the baby. This one you don't have to use in particular. This one, that's a dual electric pump. You can buy a manual pump, which is a little inexpensive, but I couldn't live without the pump either. This one has a little bag to store the milk in and stuff like that. But that's my top 10. I hope you guys found this useful. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave comments on the bottom. You can also follow us on Instagram or definitely subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Done.